Currently, he is the Assistant Manager Corporate Communications at Aberdeen Holdings Private Limited. Mr. Shamil, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sindhuja, for that lovely introduction, and glad to see some faces already. So thank you for having me as well. Also, thanks a lot to Mr. Shamil, lecturer, for having me. Also, I was when I initially got the invitation, I was mistaken as to why a person with my name is inviting me, but then I realized it's two different people. So I'm honored to having to share my name with.
I think Rashmi is hearing this, no?
Yes. So Rashmi had to specify saying it's a different Shamil.
Yeah, I guess. I think she's also logged in, I guess. I sent her
Yes,
the link.
I'm here.
Right. Okay. For students who are not aware who is Rashmi, like 2 years ago, she passed out from the department. She's working at the PwC, right? So thank you, Rashmi, for doing this for us. Thank you very much. And over to you, Shamil.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
So when it comes to personal branding, now today's session is the objective of today's session is you start think something or you start learning something and immediately use some of these in your life, right? So I think Mama English විතරක් එක දිගටම කතා කරගෙන යන්නේ නැහැ. I would also like to use a bit of Sinhalese and also Tamil. I'm well versed in all three languages, maybe a bit weak in Tamil, but nevertheless I will understand you very well and I will also be able to manage if there's any questions or anything. First of all, so since there is a session on personal branding, can I ask someone if there is a very first episode of Commerce 101?
Not really, Shamil. I think we've had a couple of sessions. For this year, this is the second session.
Great.
But for every year, we have a couple of sessions, first semester and second semester likewise. So this year, we are like group them under one banner called Commerce 101. Just look into some preliminary stuff that everyone needs, the essential stuff that people need. So just a kind of a regrouping kind of thing.
What was the first session on, sir?
It's about LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn.
Okay. Yes.
Kind of things, yeah. That's how it all began, and that's how you came into this program as well.
All right. So when it comes to personal branding, I think first thing is all of us should be able to groom ourselves and make sure you are presented with a strong personality. So let me start with a small activity or a challenge or a request. You can view it in any way you want. This is what is this. Can I request everyone on this call right now? I see 73 participants, so that is 72 others apart from me. I would like to see you all switch on your videos and unmute your mics if there is no background noise, that is. If there's a slight trace of background noise, let's not switch on our mics, but I would like to see your faces. Because if this session was to be done in a physical space, this is not the norm. We won't be hiding behind a screen. We will be having our face out. So don't worry, even I haven't had a haircut in ages, whatever hair that I have left. Feel free to switch on your camera, even if you have not been maybe groomed, makeup, whatever. I would just like to see who I am talking to. I'll give you maybe roughly 30 seconds for that, and I'll stop talking till then. And of course, I just saw the message on questions. Feel free to interrupt me anytime. I would prefer to have questions asked vocally as opposed to the chat. Once again, trying to have a session which would be as similar to having a physical session. Because personal branding is not only restricted to online, it has a lot to do in your body language, in how you present yourself. We'll talk about all those as we go through the session. But first things is I would like to see your smile, see how you look, how you are reacting to what I say. If you are understanding me, all that matters. And I think I'll be doing this in a mix of two languages because I feel, again, even when I was at uni, Sinhalese was a more comfortable language as opposed to English. So we'll be, of course, doing a mix. All right, so I see a few of you have switched on videos. So let me ask the first question that I wanted to ask you all. හැබැයි දැන් video on කරගෙන ඉන්න එක පාට off කරන්න එපා, ඒ chat එක ඉවරයි කියලා හිතන්න. I will be reminding you all now every now and then. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you all, which I want to hear some answers, is when you heard about this or when you saw the social media post or whatnot, what were you expecting to hear? What were you expecting to hear? This is a question to all the undergraduates who are joining in. What were you all expecting to hear? මොකද අරමුණක් නැතුව වැඩක් පටන් අරන් හරියන්නේ නැහනේ. ශාමිල් සර් කිව්වා හින්දා අපි ආවා. නැත්තම් page එකේ post එකක් තිබුණා වෙන කරන්න දෙයක් නෑ. අපි link එක click කරලා ආවා. නැත්තම් ගෙදර කවුරු හරි වැඩක් දෙයි. උයන්න හරි ගේ අතු ගන්න හරි එහෙම වැඩක් set වෙයි. What is the reason? Why are you here?
Anyone can talk. Anyone that even not having the video, you can say something. Yeah.
Feel free to talk to me in any language.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Basically,
Sabarja.
yeah, sir. I'm here to learn some marketing strategies, which would be probably, which would relate to my stream, which is entrepreneurship. So I think I would be, I think you will be teaching us some marketing strategies, probably, I guess.
Yes. Essentially, I would be not teaching you some strategies. I would be teaching you, of course, I'll be letting you know of some strategies and I'll be giving you a continuous source of all these strategies. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? That's an interesting perspective from Sabarja. Thank you for that. The first person to speak. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපේ ලංකාවේ විදිය නම් එක්කෙනෙක් මුලින් කතා කරාට පස්සේ anyone else. We can hear from at least 3 people. Anyone? When කවුරු ඉන්නවද? වෙර යාරවද ඉරකරින්ගලා? I was just speaking Tamil. Come on, I don't think Sabarja covered everything that you had in mind. Even if you didn't know why you're joining, now is a good time to start thinking about it. Why am I here? Why am I going to spend 1 hour of my day here where I can maybe watch an episode or watch a movie, play a game, maybe talk to your friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, anyone. But why are you here? Anyone else? Can we hear someone else's voice? මේක ඉතින් අපි physical session එකක් තිබ්බනම් දැන් අපි මම කෙලින්ම අහනවා. හැබැයි online හින්දා if I do have permission I could ask names to talk.
No, Harish Shamil, you can do that, but the only thing is not sure they'll answer it because online means you can hide yourself. You know, that's the
problem.
Unfortunate part of being online.
So since I think that is experience directly from lectures coming from Shamil sir. Since we heard a voice of a girl, let me ask a gentleman in the group. Let's ask Eshan Fernando. Eshan, can you tell me why you are here? I think you're an undergraduate.
I am here to know what is personal branding.
Okay, you want to know what is personal branding. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. So this is what I referred to the background noise in the beginning. So I think I will choose to ignore that, but nevertheless, don't worry. This is not a grave mistake having your mic unmuted in a public forum. That's no problem. As long as you talk. All right. So, okay. So the host has muted everyone. So even I got muted in the process. I've unmuted myself now. So personal branding essentially refers to yourself. It's in a nutshell, it is not a complex thing. We will be going into individual things that you can do. I would not call them theories or practicals or anything like that. It's about how you would lead your life. right? Again, if you're here to listen to a session on how can you look better, how can you appear better when you smile and all that, no, that's not what I'm going to do. Again, I don't have the greatest of smiles. When it comes to the having a pretty face, I'm sure I'm definitely not in the top 10 in this, even within this call. But here I am. I'm trying to tell you something which I personally found interesting when I started thinking about it. So what I'm going to tell you is not anything that is there, that anyone would teach as a subject. Because if you want to learn that, I can ask you to Google tips on personal branding, and you can learn more than enough within 1 hour. That's not what's going to happen. I'm going to take you on a journey to think as to where you are right now, where do you want to get, and how can we get there, right? So I assume all of you would have some type of module on marketing, right? Okay, I see 2 videos on and they are nodding. So based on that, I think I will take that as an yes. So when it comes to marketing, let me put you all on the spot again. Can someone tell me what is marketing? Since it's already the first 15 minutes, I'm trying my very best to try to get you all to talk. What is marketing? Marketing කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මට definition එක කියන්න එපා. There are so many definitions. If I am to tell you the CIM definition, the marketing is the business process where you identify, anticipate, and satisfy needs and wants in a profitable manner, right? That is the definition. හැබැයි marketing කියන්නේ මොනවාද? What is marketing? Anyone? මේකත් දැන් TV program එකක් වගේ දැන් ප්‍රශ්න අහලා මම උත්තරේ දෙන්න වෙලා. Anyone can help me out here?
Sir,
Yes.
marketing is any activity which promotes the selling of the product or service. Basically promotes the product.
Okay, very good. Okay, profit through customer satisfaction, I'm seeing from the chat. Yes, okay. So I would like you, these is going to be one of the main messages I'm going to leave you with. Look at personal branding as a marketing plan for yourself. Personal branding කියන මාතෘකාව හිතන්න තමන්ටම marketing campaign එකක් කරනවායි කියලා. So I'm sure you would have already learned. දැන්ටමත් ඉගෙනගෙන ඇති. නැත්නම් යථා කාලේ ඉගෙන ගන්නේවි. Marketing කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා ඇහුවම. So we are going to look at personal branding from a marketing perspective. Because branding කියන වචනේ ගොඩක්ම use වෙන්නේ marketing field එකේනේ. So if I have asked now, when we look at marketing, අපි වචනයක් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා, හරි, unique selling proposition. What is the one thing that you bring unique to the world? ඔයා නැත්තම් මේ ලෝකෙට නැති වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? Have you thought about it? Because I like this statement from your trailer video for this session. It said, if you don't have a personal brand, you're just a commodity. කෙනේ තමන්ටම කියලා සුවිශේෂී ගුණාංගයක් නැත්තම් තමනුත් අන් අය පරිහරණය කරන භාණ්ඩයක් වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. You will be doing this, you will be doing that, and maybe you will be successful in life, not that you will be unsuccessful. But what is that thing people would talk about you when you're not there? That is the thing. That is what would make you unique. And now, can someone tell me what is unique about themselves? Anyone who wants to tell me what is unique about themselves?
Let me help you, Shamil. Like I do one thing at interviews.
Okay.
I ask the people who I interview to describe themselves in one word.
Okay.
So I
Why
guess
not? We'll have to resort to that.
kind of thing, you know. So
Yes.
maybe we can ask some of these guys to like describe themselves in one word. Like,
Try to describe yourself, or give a give the unique aspect yourself in one word. Maybe you won't be able to tell me what's unique about yourself in one word, but try to describe yourself in one word or more words. I would love to hear more words, but minimum. Can even put it on the chat. You can unmute and tell me. So I've been told that I'll be speaking to, is someone talking? Okay. So,
what is this?
oh, let's do this. Let's do this. Maybe not about yourself. Tell me something unique that you've seen in your friend. All of you would have your best friend. Tell me, why are you friends with that person? හරි ඒකත් කිසිම ප්‍රතිචාරයක් නැහැ. Anyway, as we proceed, so
okay, we have one at least.
Yeah, one from Pumini. Thank you. Okay, there's another one. So she's super cool, handles problems with ease. So whoever that is Sabaja's friend, now that can be something unique to you. Of course, you may not be the only person in the world with it, but that's all right. You don't have to be the only person to have that in the entire world, because we have 7 billion people in the world, more than 7 billion in fact. Yes, so there's also a person commenting, uniqueness is being special comparing with others. Yeah, so what is that speciality that you have is what you need to start to think, right? So I assume that most of you not speaking could be a result of perhaps not having answers for the questions that I'm asking you. If you don't have your answers, because all of you are above 19, 20, 21 years of age, start thinking that, because this is a good time to have those thoughts in your mind and to think, what do you want to do in your life, in your career? Doesn't have to be your ambition. What is it that you want to be? And how are you going to use those unique traits that you have within yourself? Then when we come to brand or personal branding, I just got you to start thinking along the USPs. Next, another common marketing. So the first segment of this program would be, I'll be taking you through different theories or different things that we learn in marketing and try to get you to apply that to your life. So when we talk about uniquenesses, we also use the word the strengths that you would have. So then Tamanta Diena Shaktin, Durbalata, the SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. What are the strengths you have? What are the weaknesses you have? Now, these are common question I've seen, common answer I've seen when I've asked this question at interviews. Interview hari. Tell me, what are your strengths? Punctuality, neatness, very good in Microsoft Office, very good in English, very good in being in a certain sport, good in working teams. Mostly the same strengths. Lankai හැමෝටම වගේ තියෙන එකම strength set එක තමයි අර එකම කට්ටලේ මාරුවෙන් මාරුවට එනවා. But this is the interesting thing. When I ask a person what is their weakness, just think, before I tell the answer, just think what would happen to you right now if I ask you to unmute yourself and tell me what your weakness is. මුලින්ම hina වෙනවා. එහෙමනම් දන්නේ නැහැ. I have not thought about it. I don't think I have any, sir. Those are the common answers. But the moment I hear someone saying like this, weaknesses. Yes, I do have some weaknesses. I think one of the main things that I've been trying to fix in my life is punctuality. I am always late 5-10 minutes wherever I go. But I've been trying to improve that gradually. It's a hard process. I try to at least go to wherever I want to go 15 minutes early, so I at least end up being there on time. So I'm trying to work on it, but this is of course one of the biggest weaknesses I have. Will it disturb my work? I would try my very best that it wouldn't, and if it would, I would of course keep you posted. Perfect answer. Even if they tell me 5 weaknesses like that, they will be hired because I know that they know themselves. As opposed to a person who is here for an interview just to get the job versus a person who is genuine about themselves. තමන් ගැන තමන් හොඳටම ඇඳිනගෙන සිටීම තමයි personal branding වල මූලික පියවර. And that is why I am telling you to do all this. When we learn marketing, we have different layers. There is internal, micro and macro. දන්නවා ඇති. ඉතින් internal කිව්වම තමයි strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. ඊට පස්සේ ඇත්තටම opportunities, threats වලට macro factors උත් බලපානවා. But you also have your vision, your mission, your goals, your objectives. What are your unique resources? What are your unique capabilities? So what I'm teaching you now is I'm only talking about marketing. I'm asking you to think all about it in your perspective. So next time you are in a marketing lecture, this is something that I've done personally. Think about how would it affect you. If it is talking about the 7 P's: product, price, place, promotion, people, process, physical evidence. So yeah, product is you as a person. Price is anything that the value that you want to put on you, your time, the places that you go, how much should you pay for something, all that. Place, where and where would you like you to be seen? Promotion is what you do, what do people write about you? Social media, your social media presence is a major promotional activity. Then when it comes to people, who are the people that you're associating? Process, how are you doing certain things in your life? When someone is constantly bugging you, do you get angry and shout at that person? Or do you take a step back and try to say, what can you do about it without getting panic? Panic when right? So then we have physical evidence. Physical evidence is the ambience. How do other people feel when they are with you? What do you want to make them remember? But why do you want them to remember you? Or what do you want them to remember you for? Again, how do you dress? All that. If any of you came to this call, meeting personal branding and ලස්සන්ට ඇඳගෙන මේ ගිහිල්ලා පොඩ්ඩක් ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් වචනයක් දෙකක් කතා කරන එක කියලා නම් හිතාගෙන ආවේ ඒක නෙවෙයි. ඒක එක්තරා උපකුලකයක් විතරයි. හැබැයි අපි personal branding කියන සම්පූර්ණ දේ ගත්තම ඊට වඩා දේවල් ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඔක්කොම පටන් ගන්නේ තමන් කවුද කියලා අඳුරගෙන ඉන්න එක. Then we go to the micro factors. Micro factors වලට ගියාම we look at who are your business එකක නම් අපි බලන්නේ who are your competitors, right? And what are their resources? And then what are they doing differently? Who are your stakeholders? Let me take a classical classroom setting. Let's say university, right? Or maybe let me take A-level. Maybe you all might be in different years in university. I'll take A-levels. So A-levels, all of you would have had the objective of getting into uni. හැමෝටම ආසාවක් තියෙන්නේ නැති campus එන්න ඕන කියලා. එතකොට අනිවාර්යෙන් බැලුවා නේද හරි අනිත් ළමයි කොහෙද පන්ති යන්නේ? අනිත් සර්ලා මොනවාද උගන්වන්නේ? මම ඉස්කෝලේ විභාගයේ ලකුණු වැඩිපුර ගන්න කාවද ඒ කියන්නේ කාවද පහු කරන්න ඕනේ පන්තියේ පළවෙනියා වගේ වෙන්න. ඒ වගේම මට ඉස්කෝලේ හොඳ නම ලබා ගන්න මම කාවද තරහ කරගන්න හොඳ නැත්තේ. All those, think about those. You can even apply those to your university. What are the clubs and associations that you want to be part of? ඔයා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කැම්පස් එන්නේ කීයටද? කැම්පස් එකෙන් යන්නේ කීයටද? ගුරුවරුත් එක්ක කතා කරද්දි කොහොමද කතා කරන්නේ? මෙහෙම ඔන්ලයින් සෙෂන් එකක් තියෙද්දි කතා කරනවද කතා නොකරනවද? All those are things that you can think about and see the perception that you're making others feel about you. Because as I'm seeing the names and some of you have the numbers on screen, so I can see all of your names. So mama දැන් සැරෙන් සැරේ කවුද වීඩියෝ දාලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න. I'm going to the different screens on this call. So එතකොට when I see that name, some of you have a picture. If you are not talking, how would that make me feel? Mama ඕගොල්ලෝ ගැන හිතන්නේ මොකද්ද? As opposed to if you're actually with your video on, nodding and listening, smiling, reacting, that personal branding. You might be seeing some of your faculty members doing. So those are some things that you can watch and learn. So this is when it comes to the internal. You learn from peers, you do this, you do that. Again, this is something that I strongly did. I still do. For every aspect in life, may it be even how to water a plant, to how to make friends, how to go into a restaurant and order food. I have different role models that I look at. Not one. They say, okay, have one role model that you want to look up to. Role model කියන්නේ තමන් එහෙම්මම carbon copy එකක් වෙන්න ඕන කියන එක නෙවෙයි. ගොඩක් අය හිතනවා හරි මම තවත් මෙහෙම කෙනෙක්. මම තවත් කුමාර සංගකාර කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මම තවත් අපේ හිටපු ජනාධිපති ඉන්න ජනාධිපති කෙනෙක් වගේ වෙන්න ඕනේ. මම අරහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා හිතනවා කට්ටිය. එතකොට වෙන්නේ you're not being unique, you're just trying to replicate yourself into that person. Whereas if you observe people, this is something that I do a lot. When someone tells me something, think, okay, why are they telling that to you? Why are they using those words to talk to you? Is it something to do with you, or is it something to do with them? And that is a lot of thinking that you need to do. And of course, not that you don't have the time. ඕකට පුරුදු වුණාට පස්සේ අනිත් අය කියන ඒවත් එක්ක තමන් කොහෙද ඉන්නේ ගැන හිතන්න තමන් පුරුදු වෙන්න ඕනේ. Then we come to the macro environment. I was talking about the 3 marketing environments. Now, since I told the first session is going to be about marketing. So then we have macro, then macro we have pestle or pestile, however do you want to call it. There will be political, economical, social, technological, ecological, and legal. There's also ethical. So I won't be going deep into each of this. So how is the political situation in the country affecting you as a person? For an example, let's say to develop your personal brand, ඔයාගේ personal brand එක තව දියුණු කරන්න ඔයා හිතනවා තමාට කාර් එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Right? This coming from a person who doesn't own a car yet. I've realized that my needs do not need a car. ඒ මුදල දැන්ම වියදම් කරලා තේරුමක් නැහැ විශේෂයෙන් දැන් තියෙන තත්ත්වයට එක්ක. Because if I try to spend a lot of money and buy a car, it's only going to be for the social show, because I don't use it a lot. I would rather maybe put that money for it and use Uber from the returns I'm getting. Right? So that the political situation. Then we come to the economical. The rupee is depreciating. Okay, how is it going to affect you? You're earning 50,000 today. If the dollar goes up next week, the week after, but your earnings significantly drops. So today in the morning until around 3 o'clock, I was outside. We are doing a huge CSR activity at office. I'll be out of Colombo the next 2 days. We are distributing some packs for 1,000 families in Central Province. So then when we went there, we saw the pack that we purchased for a certain amount of money. And then we realized, wow, for this amount of money, maybe 2 months ago, ගන්න පුළුවන් දේ නෙවෙයි මේ අද ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. So then that is the economical situation. How would that affect you? Then social. This is, I'm sure all of you are heavily thinking about this. Social. What do other people think about you? Or how does the society affect how you live? Now this is where all these little things are. Hari yamata mehema kiwwa me ඔය තියෙන ජාතිවාදය ටික ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ ඔය social කියන spectrum එක ඇතුලේ. What do others think about yourself? And especially in a culture, in a South Asian culture, we are programmed to think first as to what others would think. සමහරලාට ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ degree program එක කරන්නෙත් අනිත් අය මොනා හිතයිද මම මගේ කැමති එකක් කරොත් කියලා. Right? What would විශේෂයෙන් ලංකාවේ තියෙන common ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි ආර්ට්ස් සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකක් තෝරගන්න කලින් හිතනවා නේ ආර්ට්ස් කළා මොනා කරන්නද අනිත් අය මොනවද කියන්නේ. අල්ලපු ගෙදර එක්කෙනාගේ ළමයා කරනවා මැත්ස්, එයා ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක්, එයාගේ ළමයි 3 දෙනා එන්ජිනියර්ස්ලා, මෙයා ડોක්ටර්ස්ලා, මම මොනවද කරන්නේ? කොහොමද සමාජයට මූණ දෙන්නේ? Okay, then if you are buying something අනිත් අය ගන්න මේ brand එක, මම මේ brand එක අරන් වැඩන්නේ. අනිත් අය මොනවද හිතන්නේ? If you are buying a car, හරි මගේ වයසේ අනිත් හැමෝටම කා එකක් තියෙනවා, මම විතරක් මේ බයිසිකල් එකෙන් යන්නේ. අයියෝ හරියන්නේ කා එකක් ඕනේ. That is a major problem, right? So you are eventually leading your life. I told you in the beginning, you're being a commodity. අනිත් අයගේ පරිහරණයට, අනිත් අයව සතුටු කරන්න. එතකොට අවුරුදු 60 70 වුණාට පස්සේ වනේ හිතලා බලයි, ෂා මම දැන් ලෝකේ අනිත් හැමෝම සතුටු කරලා තියෙනවා. මම සතුටුද? ඒක මං හිතන්නේ තමන් අහලා බලන්න ඕනේ දෙයක්. If you're happy, that's fine. As long as you're happy and the others are also happy, that's a perfect situation. But most of the time, we sometimes sacrifice on our happiness, what we want to do to help others. Then we come to technological. When I think technological, it's about the internet. It's about the new devices that we have. Okay, how am I going to associate myself with that? Am I going to go old school and say, I'm going to live life normal? Phone ekak mugut naha, social media accounts naha, mama nikan inna. Oh, I'm going to embrace that. Right? You can think about that. Then we talk about ecological. So ecological doesn't mean you be a environmental fighter. I am a vegan. I don't eat anything which has used animals or animal fats or anything. I am fighting against cutting trees, deforestation. That is not only being ecological. Some of you or most of the people who are doing it are very genuine about it. But සමහරට ඔය රැල්ලට යනවනේ. එතකොට හරි අරයා කියනවා maybe we go back to the social spectrum. හරි මම මෙතන ඒ ගැන post එකක් දැම්මේ නැත්නම් අනිත් අය මොනවද මං ගැන හිතන්නේ? මම ගෙදර ගිහිල්ලා මගේ chicken curry එක කන්නම්. හැබැයි මේ සත්තු ඝාතනය කිරීම තහනම් කියන එක ගැන මම කතා කරන්න ඕනේ මොනවා. Facebook live හරි ඇවිල්ලා මම කෑ ගහලා කියන්න ලංකාවට වෙන්න. හැබැයි ගෙදර ගිහිල්ලා කරන දේ කමන්නේ. So that is again a problem. So ecological means, okay, do you switch off lights and fans when you go out of? Now all what I'm saying is not what I am doing. Maybe I would be different, but I'm just telling you the spectrums that you can think about. Maybe I am a wholehearted vegetarian, right? But just because someone else is, I don't want to force that on you. මම කරන දේ ඔයගලන්ට කරන්න කියලා නෙමෙයි මම කියන්නේ. ඔයගලන්ට හිතන්න පුළුවන් පාරවල්. මම පටන් ගද්දි කිව්වා වගේ මේ සෙෂන් එකේ වෙන්නේ තමන්ට තමන්ගේ ජීවිතේ කොහොමද හිතන්න හැඩගස්ස ගන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක ගැන පොඩි ආරම්භයක්. In a 1 hour session, I can't change you all as a person, right? Because there are so many other sessions if to change. There can be sessions on motivation, there can be sessions on leadership, all that. Is mostly going to be about your personality and how I'm going to improve. Then we also will talk about ethical as to how clean you are, how neat you are. When you are in person, හොර වැඩක් කරාට කමන්නේ හරි පාරේ ට්‍රොෆික් වලක් දාමු කමන්නේ කවුරුත් දැක්කේ නැහැ. Or are you genuinely care? So all that matters, right? So those are the 3 environments in marketing. මම ඉක්මනට ඔයගලන්ට ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් පැහැදිලි කරා. So then I think I will end in terms of marketing because අපි theories ගොඩක් cover කරා. We spoke about the different markets, we spoke about marketing mix, and we spoke about SWOT, all that. ඊළඟට I'm going to take you all in a more psychological aspect, right? So psychology has been something that I've been passionate about after my university program. So I was also an undergraduate at the University of Kelaniya, as it was mentioned in the introduction. I am pending my graduation as of now, so I'm not very old. Olwe konde adunata sachit ayya tamai habai, but maybe 2-3 batches below him. So Therefore, don't look at me as a sir or a, you don't even have to call me sir, because again, I'm not your lecturer, right? Just think of me as a person who is just like your age. These are අපි සාමාන්‍ය යාළුවොත් එක්ක කතා කරන්නේ, මට එහෙම තමයි කතා කරන්න අවශ්‍ය. හැබැයි since this official platform, I will have to stick to a certain formal tone because that is my personal brand. If I want to come and sit with you all and say, "Hari, lamai ahagන්න මේක තමයි විස්තරේ" කියලා කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. But this is what I have chosen. You can choose anything else and you're free to do whatever you want with your life. That is the beauty of living, because you're not bound by what anyone else has to say about you or has to think about you, as long as you're genuine. This is what you want to do. And as long as you're within the boundaries of being legal, being a good citizen, not harming others and all. Hari mata ඕනේ අනිත් අයට ගහන්න හිනවම කොහමරි ගහනවා කියලා කරන එක නෙවෙයි අරුත. As long as you're being a useful person or not harming others. So then, so after university, in fact, while my university degree was in the science faculty, I did physical science. I was always passionate about marketing. So in the meantime, I completed my CIM and also my master's in business administration. And right now, since I was interested in psychology, I'm doing a MSc in business psychology. So this is where I'm coming to next. So this is just like my chapters in life. My first chapter started with marketing, while I also did a science degree, and now it's mostly into psychology. So psychology කිව්වම මිනිස්සු හිතනවා හරි සාමාන්‍ය ඔළුවේ අමාරුවක් හැදුණා තමයි psychology වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. It's not like that. Anything that you do, maybe the fact that I'm wearing blue here also has some psychology. I don't know, right? Or maybe I'm not going to tell you. Some people you see would love to wear black. Maybe there's some psychology. There's a reason for everything that a person does, or there's a reason for everything that we do. So when it comes to psychology, I'm not going to tell a lot. මම ඒ ගැන ගොඩාක් මනෝවිද්‍යාව ගැන ගොඩාක් කතා කරන්න හදන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ගැන ඒකේ තියෙන එක්තරා අංගයක් called personality. Personality අනික මොකද personal branding කියද්දී මම මුල් ටිකේ කතා කරා brand එකක් හදන්නේ කොහොමද, branding, how do you apply marketing theories into your life, and now I would talk to you about personality. Personal. So when it comes to personality, මම පටන් ගන්නම් සරල දෙයකින්. මිනිස්සෙක් හිටියා, එයාගේ නම අයිසෙන්ක්. මං හිතන්නේ ප්‍රංශ ජාතික. එයා කිව්වා මිනිසුන්ගේ සයිකොලොජි කියන එක සෙක්ෂන් 3ක තියෙනවා කියලා. දැන් කියනවා සෙක්ෂන් 4ක තියෙනවා 5ක තියෙනවා. එක එක ලේඛකයෝ එක එක විදිහට ඒක ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක හැම එකක්වත් වැරදි නෑ. So මේ මම සරලම දේ කියන්න පටන් ගත්ත හින්දා තමයි මේ අයිසෙන්ක්ගෙන් පටන් ගත්තේ. ඊට පස්සේ මම තව එකක් කියනවා. ඒකෙන් ඔයගලන්ට ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් දෙකක් තියෙනවා මේ සෙෂන් එකට පස්සේ කරන්න. මම ඒකට එන්න. Personality Eysenck කිව්වා there is 3 avenues. One is if you are an introvert or an extrovert. I wouldn't know the Sinhalese words. Sometimes ඒකේ සිංහල word කිව්වට ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි. මොකද ඒවා සාමාන්‍ය එදිනෙදා ව්‍යවහාරයේ තියෙන සිංහල වචන නෙවෙයි. Introvert ද extrovert ද කියන්නේ හරි තමන් motivate වෙන්නේ. එළියෙන් එන stimulations වලටද නැත්නම් තමන්ගේ ඇතුලෙන් එන දෙයකටද. That is being an introvert or extrovert. So sometimes you might see a person talking a lot, but they might not be a very strong extrovert. Again, another perception that I want to break. People think that you are either an extrovert or an introvert. That is also not the case. I personally have thought about this, and this is also a reason why I went into psychology, because maybe when I was in school, I was very talkative. But when I started moving with more people, mama godak putta hitanna patan gatta, okay, what is happening? Why is this person talking like this? All that. And sometimes I have more silent moments. Then I thought, okay, am I being an introvert? Because ma tissara hitan hite deken ekai. So then I learned ඒකට කියනවා හොඳ ඉංග්‍රීසි වචනයක්, ඒක මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ නෑ. ලස්සන වචනයකින්ද කියන්නේ dichotomy. අපි අර dioxide කියලා කියන්නේ අර දෙකක් තියෙන හින්දා. dichotomy. මේ ලෝකේ තියෙන්නේ දෙකයි, කෙලවරවල් දෙකයි, අන්ත දෙකයි කියලා හිතන්නේ. It's not like that. So then you can be 50% introvert, 50% extrovert. You can be 70% extrovert, 30% introvert. Then people can say, okay, I am more extrovert. Doesn't mean that you're only extrovert. හරි ඒ extrovert introvert ඕගොල්ලෝ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් commonly කතා කරන දෙයක් හින්දා මම මේක මුලින් කිව්වා. තව දෙයක් තියෙනවා. Are you neurotic, or are you stable? ඒ කියනවාට ඉක්මනට තරහ යනවා, ඉක්මනට දුක හිතෙනවා. අර අපි emotional කියලා කියන්නේ වෙන ලේඛකයෝ එකට හරි emotional intelligence එහෙම එක ඒවා කියලා තියෙනවා. That is the second thing. So first I told about extrovert introvert. දෙවෙනිට තියෙන්නේ okay, are you neurotic? Neurotic කියන එකවම සිංහලෙන් විස්තර කරනවා නම් ඒකේ තියෙන අර ඉක්මනට ඒකේ biological background එකකුත් තියෙනවා. ඉක්මනට තරහ යනවා, ඉක්මනට හැඟීම් බර වෙනවා. නැත්නම් are you stable? I can take it. හරි. මට මොනා කරත් හරි මම තමයි තීරණය කරන්නේ මගේ මූඩ් එක කොහොමද කියලා. හරි. ඒතර තරහ යෑම සහ තරහ ගැනීම කියන වෙනස. So ඒ තරහව කියන්නේ කොහොමද ඇති වෙන්නේ? තමන් හිතලා හරි දැන් මෙතන මම පොඩ්ඩක් සැරෙන් කිව්වොත් තමයි වැඩේ වෙන්නේ. ද නැත්තම් නෑ out of control. ඒ දෙවෙනි. Again a spectrum. දෙකලවරක් නෙවෙයි ඒ දෙකම mix එකේ තියෙනවා. තුන්වෙනි එක is about being sociable or psychotic. Sociable කිව්වම හැමෝම දන්නවා ඇති සමාජයත් එක්ක සමාජශීලී සුහදශීලී move වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Psychotic කියන්නේ හරි තමන් තමයි ලොක්ක මම කියන එක තමයි හරි මට විතරයි අනාගතයේ කෙලවර හරියට පේන්නේ මාත් එක්ක ගමන එනවා නම් එන නැත්නම් එන්න එපා. Here's something very interesting. So I spoke to you about the 3 different facts. මොනවා හරි තේරෙනවා නම් ලියා ගන්න. Extrovert introvert, EI extrovert introvert, neurotic stable NS, psychotic sociable PS. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඉතිහාසයේ ගොඩාක්ම සාර්ථක වෙලා තියෙන ලීඩර්ස් ලාට මොන trait එකද වැඩිපුර තියෙන්නේ ඕනේ. Again, don't think about 2 corners. Think about which trait should a most successful leader have. I'm asking you first before I tell you the research based answer. Because once again, let me trace back. අපි මේ ගැන කතා කරන්නේ so you all can think what type of personality do you want to have in life. Right? Personalities can change. Huh? It's not one thing that you are stuck with. It again comes to your internal marketing, how you develop yourself. Okay. So question, do you think a perfect all right, so as a leader, a perfect leader needs to be a more introvert or more extrovert? Anyone? Give you all 5 seconds. Introvert. Okay. Any other answers? All right, more introvert. Okay. The second question. A perfect leader needs to be more neurotic or more stable. වැඩි හැංගීම් බර නැහැ. never ගිරුණත් දැන්චුවා. Okay, stable. So there is introvert, stable. Any other answers? Anyone going against Sabarja here? No other answers. Hari. Then the third question. Should a leader be more sociable or psychotic? Strong vision, hari mama කියන දේ තමයි hari, or අනේ hari හැමෝම කියන එක අපි අහලා බලලා කතා කරලා කරමු. What do you think? Sociable. මේ උත්තරේ දාපු අය ඒ වගේම හිතින් හිතාගත් අය කියන්න හිතාගන්න these are the qualities that are stronger in you. And that is why most of you are, some of you may be not having the quality but wanting to be that quality. But most of you put that answer because that is the dominant trait within you. And that is not wrong. And that is where I once again tell you, there is nothing right or wrong. මේ ලෝකේ කිසිම දෙයක් මේ වගේ personality සම්බන්ධ දෙයක හරි දේ වැරදි දේ කියලා නැහැ. Historically, they've said the leaders who have had the pen trait, pen කියවම PEN, psychotic, extrovert and neurotic, those leaders have been the most successful. Think of Adolf Hitler. successful kiwama not for the world's good, for his vision. එයාට කරන්න අවශ්‍ය දේ සාර්ථකව කරලා තියෙන අය ගැන හිතන්න. වෙන කවුරු කිව්වත් වැඩක් නැහැ. මම කියන එක තමයි කරන්නේ. Think of all the emotional leaders. Think of Martin Luther King. Did he say, okay, we had a meeting and we agreed that we need to have a dream? Oh, he said, I have a dream that I would want to see the black and the white sitting in the same table and having lunch, right? Think about the other leaders who've been successful in their own way. They are to be the pen trait, the psychotic, extrovert, and neurotic. Doesn't mean that you need to change overnight, right? But they say in a management world, in a corporate world, if you want to do a normal job and survive and go up the ladder fast, it is the ESS. That is extrovert, stable, and social. You can talk to people, especially in fields like management, business, that you are okay, you're stable, you are an extrovert, you are social. People would love you. Again, I'm not going to touch on any of the leadership things that we want to talk, because when it comes to leadership, there are more interesting things, but as a person. So now think, there are online assessments to give you which pen trait you are. So all you've got to do is search for ISENC personality test. I would just type that on the chat. My chat is frozen. Yeah, it's here. ISENC personality test. And just maybe there should be a free online test. But in a bit, I'm going to tell you another more useful online test, which I've done with a lot of my friends also. So in terms of understanding personality, while I spoke about a very basic, the main traits of a person, over there, another personality test. Now, this is what I told you is going to be homework for you, to understand yourself as a person and to see who are the other famous people like you. Famous people or characters. Think about, or actually go and Google 16 personalities. Godak ay samharlata meka dantamath karala ඇති මේක ප්‍රසිද්ධයි, but if you haven't done 16 personalities කියලා Google කරන්න. Maybe someone can Google and share the actual link on the chat while we are in this session. There is even the URL of that website says 16personalitiestest.com or something like that. So there, it is a very relevant quiz. You have around 50 questions. ඒ ප්‍රශ්න ඇහුවා මට සමහරට directly තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ එකකින් තමන්ගේ personality එකේ මොකද්ද mind යන්නේ කියලා. But it gives you your answer in a spectrum. Introvert, extrovert. Are you a thinking person or a more verbal person? Are you a leader or a follower? That type of. So it gives you in 4 letters. So it is either E, N, T, J, E, S, F, P. එහෙම අකුරු වලින් තමයි දෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒකේ සම්පූර්ණ එන්න පුළුවන් personality ಜಾති 16ක් තියෙනවා. So there are 16 types of personalities according to that. And then when you go through that online test, a tool එකේ තියෙන හොඳම දේ තමයි තමන්ට අන්තිමට කියනවා තමන්ගේ ජීවිතයේ ගැන. Of course, your life won't be 100% like that. But ඒක හරියටම නෑ සාස්ත්‍රයක් බලනවා වගේ සාහිත්‍යයි. You will feel ඇත්තනේ ඇත්ත මට මෙහෙම හිතෙනවා තමයි මෙහෙම වෙන්නේ නැති මට මෙහෙම හිතෙන්නේ. So they'll say, okay, this personality gets angry fast, especially when someone close to them does something that they don't like. එහෙම they will talk about your work life. That site will tell you about your relationships. That site will tell you about how you live in a family. That site will tell you about your education. එහෙම report එකක් ඔයාලට ගන්න පුළුවන්. And that will help you to learn a lot. And among a few of my friends, we've even discussed now doing that personality test is much better than checking horoscopes. Right? Because if you want to do, if you have anyone interested in you, කෙලින්ම කියන්න link එක දීලා මේ link එක ගිහිල්ලා මට screenshot එකක් එවන්න. එතකොට මම කියන්නම් කැමතිද නැද්ද. That's also something that you can do if you want. Something that I also might do. in future. Because that helps you really understand yourself as a person. And if you are to make an important, like maybe it can even be forming a business partner. Would you match? Would your personalities match? So in this case, if you want to be a certain person, if you want to change a certain trait, that is where we come to next in the last 5 minutes of our session. How do you change what you have to do to where you want to go? What දැන් තියෙන තත්ත්වය or කොහොමද වෙනස් කරගෙන තමන්ට අවශ්‍ය තත්ත්වයක් කරා යන්නේ. So of course you would have your weaknesses now. You would have the problems you have in life. Sometimes you might say, හරි මට පාඩම් කරන්න හිත හදා ගන්න බෑ. මම නිකන් ඉද්දි නිකන් වෙලා නාස්ති කරන එක තමයි කරන්නේ. එක්කෝ නිකන් නිදාගෙන ඉන්නවා. නැත්නම් නිකන් social media වල කාලය නාස්ති කරනවා. Again, some of these problems even I've had, I still have. I am trying to overcome this. While since I am telling you, doesn't mean that I am perfect. කොහොම නම් කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ ජීවිතේ උපරිමයටම ගිහිල්ලා උපරිමම විඳින ගමන් ඉන්නේ. එහෙම නෙවෙයි. Right? All of us have our battles in life. But how do you want to change? There are many ways to learn. First option, or what leads to that, is you have your actual self. තමන් දැන් ඉන්න තත්ත්වය තමන් දන්න. or තමන් නොදන්නවා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. තමන් දන්න තත්ත්වය ඇවිල්ලා perceived self. හරි මම මෙහෙමයි කියලා තමයි මම හිතන් ඉන්නේ. හැබැයි අනිත් අය හිතන්නේ එහෙම නෙවෙයි. ඔයා හිතනවා තමයි ලෝකේ ඉන්න හොඳම මනුස්සයා කියලා. හැබැයි අනිත් අය හිතන අයියෝ මෙලෝ රහක් නැහැ. මෙලෝ වැඩකට නැහැ. You need to know. and ඒකනේ අපි මාකටිං වල ඉගෙන ගන්න සර්වේ කරනවා රිසර්ච් කරනවා කියලා. රිසර්ච් එකක් කරලා බලන්න. නිකන් අයගෙන් අහලා බලන්න. ව්‍යාළුවෙක් ලව්ව අහන්න. මොකක්ද අරූ ගැන හිතන්නේ? මොකක්ද මෙයා ගැන හිතන්නේ? Then you can realize what your actual self is to a certain extent. යම් තාක් දුරට අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි ඔයා කවුද කියන එක අනිත් අය මොනවද හිතන්නේ සහ තමන් මොනවද හිතන්නේ කියන එක එකතු කරලාට පස්සේ. ඊට පස්සේ හිතන්න ideal self. What is going to be your ideal life? Doesn't mean not like financially or anything. Not that I want to earn a 7-digit salary or be going vacations every year on a yacht, on a personal boat, in a private jet. එහෙම නෙවෙයි. But how do you want people to see you? Or how do you want to feel about yourself? Think about that. And then try to see what is the gap. And then I come back to marketing. Where are you? Where do you want to go? And how do you go about it? And then you use everything that you learn in marketing into your life and implement that. Just like in a business. මේ කට්ටිය මැරීගෙන තමන්ගේ business එක market කරන්න හදන්නේ. තමන් වැඩ කරන employer ගේ business එක market කරන්න හදන්නේ. ඇයි මේ තමන් market කරන්න හදන්නේ නැත්තේ? Why aren't you trying to market yourself? So again, I trace back to something that I told in the beginning. Don't be a commodity. අන් අයගේ භාවිතයට පාවිච්චි කරන භාණ්ඩයක් වෙන්න එපා. You need to have something unique in you. So think about all that, connect the dots, try to see what is going to be your ideal self, and make small changes. Now that is the final learning. Make small changes. Hari, maybe there's a problem. Now there's a problem that I also had, still have. That okay, I need to lose some weight. එතකොට කට්ටිය හිතනවා හරි මම දැන් හෙට උදේ ඉඳන් පාන්දර 4ට දැන් වෙනදට මේ 8ට හැරෙන්නේ. එයා හිතනවා හරි පාන්දර 4ට හැරෙලා ජොගින් යනවා. දවසක් කරයි දෙකක් කරයි තුනක් කරයි 4 වෙනි දවසේ නම් නිදි. මොකද අමාරුයි. ඇඟට අමාරුයි. I wanted to do something personally. I wanted to read more. එතකොට කට්ටිය හරි අලුත් පොතක් ගන්නවා. හරි අඩුම ගානේ chapter එකක් කියවන්න ඕනේ දවසකට. කරන්න අමාරුයි. Read 1 page per day. Read 2 sentences per day. Try to do something. Small steps. So a Japanese philosophy එකක් තියෙනවා kaizen කියලා. Do small steps day by day. Then of course have a role model whom you think is your final goal in that. If you want to have a role model in a leader, find the best leader that you like. There are popular world leaders like maybe a president, a politician, a leading businessman, anyone. Or it can be even your father. Anyone in your family. Sometimes you see a prefect in a school who can be a better leader than you. You mustn't have the ego to say, "Hari, mata wada bala ine wadanne." Not like that. Maybe there are some qualities that you can learn from them. So try to get that one trait and learn. I have one role model for every single thing in life. If I want to make a speech in English, like whom do I want to talk? If I want to make a speech in Sinhala, like whom would I like to talk? If I need to do a debate, mama kawuru wage the debate tak approach karanna one. If I want to, I don't know, go to a restaurant and eat, mama kawuru wage mama kawa the picture karanna. So all those, have those. So there's a lot of things that you need to think. එතකොට තමයි personal branding කියන දේ වචනේ පරිසමාප්ත අර්ථයෙන් ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්. personal branding කියන එක මෙහෙම session එකකට ඇවිල්ලා විශේෂයෙන් Zoom session එක ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. අපිට physically කරනවා නම් මට තව ගොඩක් activities කරන්න තිබ්බා, group work එහෙම. හැබැයි මේකේ මම කරන්නේ මම රශ්මිට සහ ඒ වගේම organizers ලටත් කිව්වේ මේකේ මම ගොඩක්ම focus කරන්නේ තමන්ගේ චින්තනයක් ඇති කරගන්න උත්සාහ කරන එක. So try to think. Again, you are not school students. All of you are above 20. So you all would have some thought processes that you already have in life. So think along those. Think along the lines that I've told you. Think about where do you want to be as a person and how do you want to get there. You have your personality side of things, and then you use marketing to be what you want as a person. And since we've just run out of time, I would end with a quote that states something that I've personally liked a lot. I tell this a lot. Maybe if you listen to me speak at any other forums, you would have heard this. It says that success is when 1,000,000 moments of practice and preparation meets with one split second of opportunity. Let me try to tell that in Sinhala. සාර්ථකත්වය කියන්නේ පුහුණු වීම පුරුදු වීම කරන හෝරාවන් 100ක් 1000ක් ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා අවස්ථාවේ එක තප්පරයක් මුණ ගැහුණු විට. So does it mean that you have to be preparing මම තාම ලෑස්ති නැහැ තාම prepare වෙනවා තාම ලෑස්ති නැහැ තාම prepare වෙනවා කියන එක නෙවෙයි. You need to grab that opportunity also. When you see something, මේක එක එක විදිහට කියලා තියෙනවා. තව එක්කෙනෙක් කියලා ඇති මට පුද්ගලයා කවුද කියලා මතක නැහැ. හරි මට කවුරු මොහරි කරන්න කිව්වොත් මම වැඩේ බාර අරන් තමයි හිතන්නේ කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා. So all those different people tell it in different way, but it all boils down to don't lose what you have in life. Now I'm going into a different session as to making the most out of life and all that, but all of this links to you as a person, and hence I wanted to touch this in a personal branding session as to what you want to do, where do you want to go, and how do you make the most out of your life. On a final note, thanks a lot for having me, and I sincerely hope that even most of you had your videos off or had your mics on mute. You've been listening to me and you have started thinking about something. Again, small steps. This session won't change your life. I'll be glad if it does. Please tell me if it did. But if you can change something, even your thinking pattern, maybe even going and doing that personality test and sharing it with your friends. මොනා හරි දෙයක්. නැත්නම් තමන් මේ ලෝකෙ දිහා බලන විදිය චූට්ටක් කර වෙනස් වුණා නම් that is what I wanted, and I'm sure that is even what the organizers wanted. So thanks a lot for joining in, and hope you enjoyed and hope you understood. මොනා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. Share it on the chat, and I'm sure a few people would have my number. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever, if you want to message me and ask me any question about anything that I've spoken, or any other advice that you would want in terms of personal branding. Thanks a lot, and over to you.
Thank you, Shamil. Do we have the guys that may have some questions to ask?
I would love to hear some questions, because I personally ask a lot of questions. නවය වසරේ අපේ විද්‍යා මිස් මට කිව්වා ප්‍රශ්න පාලා කියලා ප්‍රශ්න අහන හින්දා මම හරි ආසයි ප්‍රශ්න අහනවාට විශේෂයෙන් if someone is going to challenge me and saying නෑ නෑ මෙහෙම වැරදි මේක තමයි හරි කියලා. So please go for it. Even at university, I've been asking a lot of questions from our lecturers. Some liked it, some didn't, but I love questions. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මම හිතුවා ගොඩක් අහලා තියෙව කියනවනේ ප්‍රශ්න අහනවා නම් ඒක ප්‍රශ්න අහන්නේ නැහැ කියන්නේ එක්ක මුකුත්ම තේරෙලා නැහැ ඔක්කොම තේරෙලා කියන එක. I'm not going to read it. I just wanted to bring it out. I'm not going to tell it as a big statement because my own එක ඇහිලා එපා වෙලත් ඇති. But please do ask questions.
Guys, no questions? You can type on the chat mode as well. Since okay, let them ask question. Like, let me ask one just to like provoke a bit of thought or a discussion. Now, okay, so we talk about personal branding in a sense that we use it for use it in a morally right way, isn't it? In a way where the society accepts you. Then we also know people use personal branding where it's a kind of an hallucination. It's not the real person itself, right? The person inside is different, person outside is different, and they use it for various other purposes, right? And where people might be lured into investments, right? People might be lured into making wrong decisions sometimes, right? You might be walking into a store place to buy a car maybe, and then maybe it's owned by a so-called celebrity kind of a person who has boosted himself on social media, on a TV channel likewise, right? But then you end up buying the wrong vehicle just by odds struck by the person, but not really looking into you, right? What do you say about that, Shamil?
That had, I think, a lot of branches within that question. So I think I would like to start with some people not being very genuine in their personality, right? They have different faces. My understanding of this is that all of us have different faces. And then comes to the first part of the question, ethical versus not ethical. මම හිතන්නේ ඩ්‍රාමා කරපු කට්ටිය නාට්‍ය කරපු කට්ටිය මේක දන්නවා ජීවිතය කියන්නේ වේදිකාවකී අපි ඒකේ නළු නිළියෝ. පස්සේ ඉතින් ඩ්‍රාමා කරදී නව නළු කියලා රස නවයක් තියෙන නව නළු රස කියලා. ඉතින් so all of us have different faces, different masks that we wear. But like Shamil sir said, the difference between being ethical or not ethical is what you need to decide. If you are not ethical, that is the easy answer for me to give. Of course, people might find you as a fraud or they might label you, but also there have been people successful by doing that. We have plenty of examples. As long as you do it in a smart way. I think our best case would be, if I am to give you a fictional character and not a real name, could be Thanos from Avengers. Not that he has different faces, that he as a person didn't want to do something ethical, but he was sort of successful at one point. But again, he was seen as a fraud, as a bad person. So then it comes for you to think, Hari, and it's branch. Some people might say that you're doing something wrong, but deep down, you know, this is why you're doing it. That is sort of a character like Snape from Harry Potter. So there are different characters, but my advice for you would be try to be very genuine in what you do so that wherever you go, you can uphold your personality. Right? There's a nice movie that I enjoyed in Hindi called Tamasha. It's a bit, I think, done by Ranbir Kapoor and Deepika Padukone. It's a bit of old movie, of course. It's about having two different faces in life and trying not being able to manage because one person realized that you have two different faces. So having all of us have different faces, but as long as it comes to one set of values, one set of principles that you have to follow in life. So there are some people who would say, especially in the 20, 21, 22 age, because I've done that too. Okay, no, if I want to walk in the road without any clothes, I would do that and anyone can't have a problem, right? That is also a mindset to be in, right? But however, then you need to see, okay, what would happen if I am to go to a job interview the next day? Or if I am to go and give someone life advice on something. Think about that. If that won't bother you, that's fine. Then coming to the second part of the question, I actually don't remember it, Shamil. So what was it?
Like you may deceive others, no, using the.
So that's happening. That's still happening. So the moment you see someone excelling on something else, this is another, again, a very interesting psychological principle also. When you see someone excelling in something, you think that that person would be great in everything else. Let's say if you see an excellent manufacturer of a car or an excellent person in a garage, own a ledak hadra dena. වාහනේ අරන් ගියාම පස්සේ කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ හොඳටම හදලා දෙනවා. එයාව garage එකේ ලොක්ක කරාම people will think the garage is going to be blooming, the best garage in the world, but that won't be the case. So similarly, the other way around, no, then other people make you think that. Other people make you think in their marketing campaigns and all that. These people have done these in their lives, and therefore they would be good in this. This person is an excellent teacher, so he would be a great president of the country. This is a fictional case. I don't think that really has happened anywhere. But then people would say, oh, yeah, he was a great teacher. But then we lose the option of analytical thinking as to, is that really the case? So that is something that you all will have to think before you make a purchase or before you do anything in life. Maybe going even to a place. You need to think about it. And similarly, you know this psychological weakness people have. You can use it for your benefit. If you're doing something right, then it comes to you doing it for the right or the wrong thing. You know, Hari, we spoke about your uniqueness in the beginning. What is unique about you? And then you know, Hari, people know that I am a great teacher or a great speaker or a great student. Therefore, if I go and do this thing, no one would question. So a lot of people get away by සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අර හොඳ ළමයා වැරදි කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා කියනනේ. ලකුණු 90 ගණක් ගන්න ළමයා වැරදි කරන්නේ නැහැ. එයා කොහෙන්ද එහෙම දැක් කරන්නේ කියලා අහනවනේ. So ඒකත් අර මිනිස්සු ඒක තමන්ගේ වාසියට පාවිච්චි කරන දෙයක්. But then again it comes to your ethics. Do you really want to do something bad so that you will get away from? Comes to you if you are a person that is being perceived as good as others, or if you want to be a person that is being perceived as bad as others. I hope I answered or attempted my best to answer that question.
Sure, yeah.
There's one more area that I wanted to cover, which I thought would be a important section about maybe applying for jobs and being good, being visibly good online. Why I wanted to tell that is, even though you may know it or don't know it, all your job interviews or whatever job interviews that you will go in future, people would check your social media platforms for sure. I personally do whenever I recruit someone. Not that I want to spy that person or stalk that person or anything, so that I would understand who the real person is. Even if you stalk my social media accounts after this call, you would maybe see a slightly different picture, because here mama itin mostly English එකෙන් කතා කරලා මේ personal branding ගැන ලොකුවට කතා කරානේ. Maybe if you look at how I am on social media, on Facebook especially, I share sometimes I share very comical stuff like memes. During the 2019 World Cup, I did a campaign by myself with a hashtag that said Jaya Niyatai for our Sri Lankan team. Then we were losing matches, and when we won the match against England in 2019, I was like the leader of the marketing campaign for the Sri Lankan team. But what I'm trying to say is, your social media presence online is being watched. People know. Your recruiters would watch it. So make sure you have an exact representation of your true self online, and not to බොරුවට මවාපාන්නත් එපා, because it will be hard to maintain. It's just like talking English with an accent. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඉන්ටර්විව් කරද්දී ළමයෙක් ඇවිල්ලා accent එකක් එක කතා කරනවා ඉංග්‍රීසි නෑ සුද්දෙක් වගේ. water කියලා කියන්නේ නැත්නම් water කියලා කියන්නේ British accent එක. Can I have a bowl of water? අර ටී අකුරේ හරියට ඇහෙන්නේ. But then අර අමාරු ප්‍රශ්න අහද්දී එන්න තේරෙනවා එතකොට hari actually කියලා පටන් ගන්නවා. Then you know this person is stuck. So just like that, even your social media presence, or maybe anything, this example can be used for anything that you do, make sure that you try to have a reflection of your actual true self onto whatever that you do, whatever platform that you choose to feature yourself in. Okay, that is also covered. Any other questions? What is the best way? There's from Sabaja. I think Sabaja has been the most active in terms of this session. What is the best way to market ourselves in the modest way possible? All right. That is a question which maybe would be a one-to-one lengthy discussion, or a session which you can find yourself. So you're talking about modesty. You want to be marketed as a modest person. So then the shortest answer I can give you is have a few people that you want to be like. So when I think of modesty, there are few people that come to my mind. Again, there are people from our family. Talking about the recent past, I think I can talk about the New Zealand cricket captain Kane Williamson. But I'm sure Sabaj, you might be looking for more from a female perspective. So think about the modest individuals. Think about the New Zealand Prime Minister. Her personality. There are things that even I learned from her. Not that she's a male or a female, but there are things I've loved about her. Some things that I didn't know a political leader can be like that. මේ රටේ නායකයෙක්ට ඔහොම ඉන්න පුළුවන් කියලා හිතාගන්න බැරි අවස්ථා තිබුණා. I've learned. So actually, to be honest, I've learned from a couple of you right now on how your postures were on a Zoom call. Right? Not that it has changed everything, but at least what I know I validated. හරි මම කරන එක මෙයාත් කරනවා හරි එහෙනම් මම කරන එක සාර්ථකයි. මේව තමයි අනිත් අයට පේන්නේ. Right? So those. So again, so that is answering, going back to Sabaja's question. So when you talk about modesty, look at the certain people that you want to be like, and then look at the qualities that you think a modest person would have. Does it mean modesty like a priest, like a Buddhist monk? Or does it mean modesty like a person who doesn't show off? Can be you might have 100,000 rupees, or maybe you might be having 10 million rupees in your bank account. But do you go out with all the branded stuff? Do you go out with the Louis Vuitton and a Gucci or all those brands? And do you show off? Do you buy Audi straight away, or do you go for something else? Of course, you can't buy Audi with 10 million rupees. That's a different story. But what I'm trying to say is, do you try to show off? Having Audi to not show off is also possible for sure. But again, what is your motive? And then again, you can't make everyone happy. While you genuinely know and feel that you are a modest person, අනිත් අය හිතයි මෙයා මේ බොරුවට මෙයාව සතුටු කරන්න තමයි මෙහෙම බොරුවට රඟපාන්නේ අපි දන්නවනේ මෙයාගේ ඇත්ත කෙරුවා හිතයි. As long as that doesn't bother you, you know what you're doing for sure, totally fine. Then once again, I link back to what I said previously. Don't let what others say or do bother you, as long as you know what you are doing and you are confident about yourself. That confidence comes with more other things. It's about how satisfied you are with your life, how much have you done and achieved. So that is again a niche topic I didn't want to get into, about boosting self-confidence. But in a nutshell, if I am to answer that, being self-confident is about maybe forgetting the past and trusting the system that you follow. If you want to do something, if you know that you are clear in you what you want to do, then you can be confident. Fine, that will be successful. Right. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Any other comments? I hope I answered your question, Sabaja. If there's anything else you want to touch on. No?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Anyone? No more questions, yeah? So I guess, do we have a question, Deniti?
Yeah.
Deniti, do you have a question?
මං හිතන්නේ බේකරි සද්ද ඇහෙන හින්දා දිනිත දුවලා යන්නේ නැති මොහරි ගන්න.
මට පේන චූන් පානක පස්සේ දුවලා වගේ.
පානක පස්සෙන් දුවනවා වගේ. There's another question. How important is taking initiatives for self-development to personal branding? It is a very serious topic about taking self-initiatives for development about themselves. So this is, I'm sure, something that all of us struggle with. We wait for everything to happen in a perfect way. Now, while I'm saying this, Doesn't mean that I am perfect in this also. All of us have our shortcomings. But to answer that question, self-initiative is, of course, the best way to go for it. You identify that has been something that I've been repeating throughout this session. You need to find what it is and you need to take initiative, even a small step. It is hard. It's going to be very hard because we are animals of habit. We don't like to change, or anything doesn't like to change. I think that is Newton's first law, right? ඉස්කෝලේ ඕලෙවල් කාලේ ඉගෙන ගන්න නැති මම මේ මැනේජ්මන්ට් කරන ළමයින්ගේ විද්‍යා ප්‍රශ්න අහනවා කියලා හිතන්න එපා. මේක ඉස්සර ඉගෙන ගත්ත දෙයක්. වස්තුවක් නිශ්චලව හෝ ඒකාකාර ප්‍රවේගයකින් චලනය වීමට කැපෙන්තෙන් සිටීම. මට ඒක ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කියන්න බෑ because I learned that in Sinhala. An object would like to maintain a stable velocity or be completely stable, right? All of us are like that. So it's hard to change when it comes to making something a small difference. It's hard to change, and that is why a small step would help so that you can do it constantly. ඒතර කියන දවස් 21ක් කරාම ඒක හරියනවා කියලානේ. ඒක නෙවෙයි toothpaste brand එකකින් campaign එකක් කරේ දවස් 21ක් දත්මදිමු කියලා. මොකද දවස් 21ක් ඒ චූටි දේ කරාම පුරුදු වෙනවා. So that is very important when it comes to taking small self-led initiatives. But again, I assure you, it is going to be extremely tough. But it's again comes to your willpower as to how much do you want it in your life and how much are you willing to change. So there I remember another quote. It's actually a joke that I often use. It can be used as a common quote also. In life, in life, change won't be given to you always. You need to bring your change, right? So this statement can be interpreted that it was told by a bus conductor, right? Change can't be given to you. You need to bring change. Maru denna bෑ, maru geenna ඕනේ, right? So එහෙම හිතන්නත් පුළුවන්, but it can be looked at in a very philosophical manner also. Change can't be given to you always. You need to bring your change. So that is something that you need to take close to your heart also. Hope I answered that question.
I also think that self-development, I guess you can start what I think our guest speaker mentioned at the beginning, doing a SWOT, right? That's where I think it's all about, I think, individual awareness, right? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What opportunities do you have? What threats do you have? And when once you recognize this, and if you make that commitment to yourself, right? I think that will be the first step before you move ahead. And first you have to discover yourself. So SWOT can be the platform where you discover yourself, and then and there you have various tools. So for example, LinkedIn, what we discussed last week, can be used as a tool, right? To showcase who you are as a person, right? Today we know people who wants to be actors and singers, they go to TikTok and do various things, right? So someone who wants to be, there could be people here who want to be motivators, right? So they can use LinkedIn, for example, or even Facebook to make that short speeches and short stuff, how to motivate people, clips and stuff, and use those various tools to demonstrate what you are. But I think, as you mentioned, begins with a SWOT, kind of discovering yourself first and then laying the groundwork from there onwards. I guess I think that's what we have covered today as well, right?
It's all about understanding yourself. So
yeah,
can be a SWOT, can be a personality test, can be anything as long as you know yourself.
Yes, so there are many tools out there. So I think you have to be, you have to take the leap and understand what are these tools and how to apply them. Any more questions? So the entire idea of having this session is also like to do that trigger, we have this question of self-development. So now you can think about it, right? How to do my self-development, right? How to create my own brand, people brand, the person brand, right? The persona itself, right? And you have various tools. Unlike people 20 years ago, you have various tools at the tip of your finger, whether it's a YouTube or Facebook or social media or even a WordPress, whatever you have, right? Any more questions?
Adding to what Sir just mentioned, it's all about getting you to think Another quote that I love from one of my favorite movies, Inception, is it's about an idea. An idea can be destructive or flourish yourself. A small idea and plant it in the right place.
Okay, Sajid, I think no more questions, no?
No, sir, I think we can wrap up. I think Sindhuja, are you there?
So to remark the end of an insightful session, on behalf of Students Association of Commerce, I extend a very big thanks to our keynote speaker, Mr. Shamil, and all the lecturers of Department of Commerce and Financial Management, as well as see you all in upcoming events as well. Again, thank you all and stay safe.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for being an attentive audience and for all the questions that you've asked. Take care and have a great weekend ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for accepting our invitation and joining with us. I should thank Rashmi as well. I think she's left, she told me.
Okay.
I think thank you, Sachit. I believe some of my staff members joined, so thank you very much, and the committee. So Shamil, maybe we'll be meeting in the future. We'll have this kind of dialogues in the future as well. So hopefully you will also accept our invitation.
I would love to.
And you are also what do you call, an alumni of the university itself. And I think that's a bond that we have to strengthen in the long run, using our own resources for our own students likewise. So thank you very much. Wish you all the best as well on this your journey, talking and motivating people. So thank you very much. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and we'll
Actually, by Julia. So yes, thank you very much, Shamil. When I talked to you also, like we had this discussion that we would be doing this in a mix of languages, which you perfectly did, and this was a very practical session. So being genuine, being following your having some integrity, these things are very practical aspects, and you have delivered it perfectly, I think. So thank you very much. It has been a very good session. Very there were things to learn, things to take home for everyone. So thank you very much, Shamil. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rasanjan, are you there? Can we have a picture or something on this? I don't know whether we can take a picture, video on karan one. Kalu ekka pinturak gahana bෑ bani. Can we do that? Yeah, at least sunscreen. We have to get everyone should switch on their video. නැත්තම් kalu ටික විතරක් වැදලා. We can take it from a camera. I think screenshot. Yeah. And we just do the.
Yes. Please turn on your cameras.
So guys, you have to turn on the cameras. නැත්තම් මේ ඒක දැකලා කට්ටිය අහන්න පුළුවන් හොල්මන් ඉන්නවද කියලා කළු පාටට මේ එනිසා. We have, I think Rasanjan has shared a backdrop. If you need, you can do that as well. Yeah. I'll come. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, taking in 3, 2, 1. Okay, right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shamil. Thank you very much. See you then.
Thank you everyone. See you. Have a great day.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.